Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Brighton podcast. We are back, ready for the Premier League season to start off again, despite another international break. That's 2 in the space of like a month. God, Joe, how has the last week been for you?
No, it's actually so boring. I can't lie. I actually don't. I can't be asked. I don't really want to watch Greece against England. I don't even know who they played in the second game, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch it. So yeah, but Thomas Tuchel's at the wheel now. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, breaking news.
Breaking news. As we have been recording, it's broken that Thomas Tuchel has taken over the England job. You thought you were here for Daily Brighton content. We're giving Daily England content.
Yeah, let's enough of that though.
And then nip that in the bud, because does anyone actually like or care about international football when they're friendlies? The answer, I think, is no.
Even
So
Nations League, so boring.
Yeah. I mean, so we are here to pick it back up, talk about Brighton, all things Brighton. Unfortunately, we are going to be talking about international football. Go back
Plot
on my
twist.
word.
Plot twist.
I'll go back on my word, dig myself out that grave. We're going to be talking about all the Brighton players that have been called up and whether we're going to play like a little game, valid or not valid call-ups with a few. And then we're going to look at the snubbed players, including a podcast favourite. Stick around for that. But Joe, first, we're going to whiz through all the ones that were called up, that were obvious call-ups. Mm-hmm. That is the likes of Kairu Matoma, Yankuba Minter, Ferdi Kadioglu, Baliba, Inciso, and Estepinian. I mean, with them, they are basically the poster boys for their team. Yankuba Minter, I don't think I could name another Gambian football player.
Palmadou Jama.
Shout out Pams.
Shout out Pams. He's the only one I know, mate. The only Gambians I know are him, Minte, and Jay Huss. That's it. That's it.
Do you reckon Palmadou could actually get into that Gambia team playing with Yankuba Minter one day?
He 100% could be on the bench. He's a baller. He could be on the bench, mate.
But yeah, I mean, it's good to see as well that Baliba, I think he started both games, full 90 in both, as the midfielder. I think that is surely Cameroon's future. Like, it has to run through him.
Apparently he got stretched off, but then I heard, right, that it's actually in African international football, it's actually really common for, even if it's like cramp, they just get stretched off. I genuinely am not even joking. Apparently it's really common that they just get stretched off just to get them off the pitch.
What stream have you been logging on to watch African League football?
No, whoa! This is from Twitter.
Oh, right.
I don't think.
What stream have they been logging into?
I don't think I could pay to someone to stream the African football. I actually don't think. Even Bless doesn't have a link to African football.
Yeah. AFCON's funny though. AFCON's hilarious football. The goalkeeping, the wizardry, the referees on the goals. The
referees is unbelievable. Stopping the game at like the 80th minute just because he's bored is unbelievable. And then he went to the World Cup. He actually got the call up to the World Cup after that. How's that possible?
So you're saying to Brighton fans that might have also seen it on Twitter, no fear. He's
okay. He's okay.
Baliba's fine.
It's just not. Apparently, he was just cutting about afterwards. Like,
okay, well there we go.
Yeah.
I also think he's an Iron Man. You can't injure that bulldozer. I mean, even though he probably has, I think he was injured for most of the last season. But anyway. Yes, now we're going to go on to some players that had more questionable call-ups and like surprises that we saw them in the squad and starting for some of these. But we'll start off with Matt Zwiffer. He got the Netherlands call-up. He came on at half-time against Germany for Ryan Gravenberch, I believe. Joe, are you surprised to see him in the lineup or to get that call-up based on how he's kind of performed for us?
I would say yes, purely because he's played. It must be 4 games max that he's played for us, and obviously he's been injured. He's sort of just working his way up back to that. Plus, if you take into consideration the fact that Gravenberch has been really good this season in a position that is Zwiffer's position, but obviously you would say on paper he's outperformed Zwiffer in that position, and also he was out of the Dutch team anyway, so he's now been brought in and he's starting in those games. And then in the Euros they had the double pivot of the two. Is it the PSV lads?
Yeah, it was.
What's his name, mate? It begins with S. If I try, something like that. And then was it Reinders or? Is he the Cam? I can't remember. Reinders.
Reinders did play a couple games,
but Reinders plays for Reinders plays for AC Milan. Yeah,
he's a good player.
Yeah, he's decent to be fair. But I think overall, I'm probably a bit surprised, but it's good. It is a good thing just for him to get more minutes is good at this point. But because he was on on sort of like restricted minutes, I think it was good. I think it's good for him, 100%.
Yeah, I think the fact that he is starting to step in, and I think if we can, it's only increasing his market value. If you look long term at kind of the Brighton picture of the players that they sell on quite a lot, it's good for his market value, the fact that he is now kind of into the Dutch squad. But yeah, I think it is good as well to see him get minutes, especially coming off that injury that he had, even if it is only 45 minutes. But I was actually more shocked that he did get the call up based on Gravenberch is on great form. I think they've got Quinton Timber, Jurrien Timber's brother, who's performing well in the Dutch league. And then, yeah, like you say, those two Dutch players, if I find their name or if I can think of their name, Jurdy Struiten is the only one I can actually think
That's my favourite player, man.
Yeah, I think going forward, I can see him potentially if he improves his performances for Brighton, I can actually see him solidifying a role in the squad, maybe alongside Gravenberch. Do you think?
I think for Zwiffer, I think he might need someone next to him who does a bit more dirty work, just so his passing can flourish a little bit if he's playing in a double pivot. He had that under slot anyway, because he had literally Quinton Timber, wasn't it, that he had next to him, and then I don't know I can't remember who the other player was, but they were like a lot more sort of. They had the legs on them to be able to sort of balance out his skill set, and Gravenberch does. He all of a sudden, I don't know what's going on. He can just run for days. He's sick of tackling. He turns on the ball like nothing I've ever seen. Mental. I don't know what's going on.
What a steal that was from
someone has fed him something that he should be having. But yeah, I think that would be a pretty good partnership down the line. But obviously, Quinton Timber's really good as well, and then you have the two PSV lads as well.
And we'll take this short break to try and think of those PSV lads' names. And we'll see you on the other side where we can talk about a couple more players that we're surprised got a little call up and played, including a player I quite like in Ayari. So stick around for that. Do you have a story to tell that the world needs to hear? Have you struggled with reaching new audiences who are engaged with your story? It might be time for you to start a podcast. Let me tell you about a platform we use here at Global Sports Podcast Network. Zencastr makes it easy to start a high-quality podcast built for growth from day one. With 4K audio recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes ums, ahs, you knows, and 22 other speech patterns, Zencastr makes it easy to start a podcast that sounds great. Ready to tell your story? Check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr. And welcome back to the Daily Brighton podcast. We're going to talk about a player that Brighton fans very high on, a young guy, and that is Evan Ferguson. He played and started both games for Ireland, despite not starting a game for us so far this season. in the Premier League anyway. Joe, are you happy to see them Ireland have faith in Evan Ferguson and kind of give him these important starting minutes?
To be honest, again, it's very similar to Zwiffer, where it's a different situation slightly because I think Evan Ferguson is probably their best striker, like on paper, but in terms of like Zwiffer is obviously a very good player, but is he the best in that position for Holland? You don't really know, to be honest. But did you say it was Troy Parrott, who's one of the other strikers? Troy Parrott has scored like 4 goals in one game the other day. So he's pretty on form as things go. And do you know if he started over him or if they started together?
So in the Greece game, I know that they started as a partnership. I'll check what the other game they did.
Because
Evan Ferguson alone started up top by himself.
Yeah. He does look a little bit off it, to be honest with you, but that's understandable because of the length of the injury, and he just missed so much football. And I think that he needs to be. I know it's been a while since he's been back in terms of like, but you have to remember that obviously like there's been international breaks and there's literally another one in November, by the way. No, I'm not even joking. Midway through November, I think there's another international break.
You know that meme where the woman just goes, "Not another one," about the elections. You can't be giving me another international break.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Oh,
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
How often do these countries play? Honestly,
but it's one of those things where it's like. You always get the exact same tweet every time. So after the November one, I don't think there is one until like quite far into the new year. And everyone's like, "Oh, there's no." You have to understand. You have to understand
the points throwing everywhere.
Yeah. We as football fans, we understand when the international breaks are. We know after the 17th year that you've tweeted it, right? That there's no international break for ages after Christmas. We understand. We actually get it. Anyway, back to Evan Ferguson. Back to Evan Ferguson. He needs to play more, and the more that he plays, the better that it is for us. So I don't care about Troy Parrott. I literally don't care. The only reason I know he scored 4 goals is because I see it on Twitter. So honestly, which you can follow us at, by the way, at GSPN_Brighton. Yeah. Shameless plug. And the more he plays, the better. And it's the same for a lot of the players on the fringes at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I think with Ireland, that is his only competition. I think he's got Adam Eder, who I think also plays out wide for Celtic. So those are his only competition. You'd like to think. And a player of his calibre, of his potential, should easily and should definitely be starting over them. The only thing you mentioned about the minutes, the only thing I am a bit concerned about is he went both games without scoring again. So that makes it still the last time he scored has been a year. It's been 11 months. It was the 23rd of November against Nottingham Forest because he couldn't, in both of his starts, he couldn't score against Greece or Finland. So that is just what has happened to his finishing. Like, what is just left him? His biggest trait and his asset has just gone.
I think it's a confidence thing. I think once he gets one, we could see floodgates. But I mean, I think he needs to score 1 goal,
and
ideally in the Premier League for Brighton rather than against Ireland. Finland, to be honest, because you know what I mean. But it doesn't matter, and it doesn't even matter how it goes in. He could flick it off a nut if he has to. I don't care, honestly. Honestly, his pinky toe, it doesn't matter, but he just needs to get one because Danny Welbeck is the reincarnation of R9. So
well, it's good.
It takes a lot to get in.
good to see that there's another international break in November because he might get one in another month. So then that'll make it a full year because I can't see him starting anytime soon, especially with his prolific goal scoring form. Oh yeah, I can't see him start that often. The other player, like I alluded to before the break, is Yasin Ayari, who plays for Sweden. Sweden have a very young upcoming team, and Yasin Ayari, 20 years old, is a bit of a example of that, is the epitome of this team coming through. He started both games, if I'm not mistaken, and I think they played in the game that I saw anyway, or watched the highlights for. I won't make out like I'm some sort of Sweden expert. They played a 3-5-2 with Kulusevski and Gyökeres up top, and he played in the midfield three. So that was good to see him get minutes, and I think just based on his rating for both games, he had a 7.5 or 7.6 against Slovakia and scored, and then against Estonia. Granted, not the greatest of teams and powerhouse nations, he got an 8 rating.
That's not bad. Can we get a source on these ratings?
The source is FootMob, as always.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, that is the Daily Brighton's go-to source is actually FootMob.
Yeah.
That actually is. Every podcast that you guys listen to, just know that both of us will have Transfer Marked and FootMob as tabs on this.
And we are not ashamed of that. We will
absolutely not. No. Sometimes I'm switching tabs. Even when the camera's on me, I'm switching tabs. I need to see what's going on.
But I'm filled with confidence. I think Yasin Ayari actually has a big future.
No, I think he's decent. I'm not gonna lie. One thing that I like about like certain young players is when they have no fear. I feel like he has no fear at all, and like that can get you so far just from like the start of your like sort of senior career at the top level as a youngster. And for him to be able to play with players like Kulusevski and like Gyökeres, etc., I think that is really, really good for him. So, I hope that I'd like to know what sort of role he plays for Sweden, because I'll be so real, I'm not watching Sweden. Even if they played England, Turkey, any of the countries I'm affiliated with, I don't care.
You're still not watching.
I'm still not watching, no, honestly. So,
I'll watch them when they get into the Euros.
Yeah, but that's basically forced upon me by them, to be fair, but still. Yeah. I think that, again, more minutes, international level now, getting serious, big boy time. And then obviously he's been getting minutes here and there off the bench for us. So that's obviously really good.
The thing I think this will do a hell load of good is the fact that it must be some pressure to play for your country. Like, no matter what age you are, no matter if it's a friendly for them, if it's Euros, if it's a World Cup qualifier for them, it's like they are representing their country. It must be a big thing to have on your shoulders. And the fact, the more chances he gets to play for his country, the more he gets used to that pressure, more he can kind of perform in those big games, I guess, for us going forward. That's the thing I quite liked the most. But yeah, then that is everything from our snubbed or our questionable players or our surprise call-ups. Joe, are there any others we mentioned? Oh, we got Jack Hinchwood we were going to mention.
Yeah, we were going through that, yeah.
We're getting under-21s call-up. Played at right back for 90 minutes. My question to you, though, Joe, is can you see him in a centre mid role?
No, absolutely not. To be honest, I was looking through the teams, the under-21 teams. If I'm not mistaken, he is literally the only right back. So they play three. They're currently playing right now as we're recording this, and they're playing three at the back. But they've got two wingers as the wing backs. So Sam Millen Jr. and Bino Gittins as the two wing backs. And I mean, if that's what you're going for, then obviously you're going for the more attacking sort of style. He doesn't fit that, so.
Against Azerbaijan, you don't really
against Azerbaijan, no, I surely could get some minutes in there somewhere, mate. I'm not even 21, but I'm not under 21, but surely I could get some minutes, mate.
for
Do you know what?
Azerbaijan.
I say that I'm chatting the most waffle because I know that I'm getting absolutely abused if I play and if I was to even touch the ball once, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, I think there's just too many good players.
Yeah, that's the thing. We were talking off air, weren't we? Or prior to our recording, talking about it's not even a slander against Jack Hinchwood for not being able to, or for why we don't think he's
No, it's not his fault.
good enough to play as a centre mid for the under-21s. The England under-21s team is stacked.
It's so good, mate. So good.
It was Archie Gray.
Archie Gray. Sorry, do you want me to go or do you want to go?
Yeah, go on.
So it's the starting two in this game that's going on now is Elliot Anderson and Archie Gray, who are unbelievable talents, to be fair. And then you have Tyler Morton, who is the one that we said, well, he's probably on the same level as Tyler Morton, really. But probably a bit of a high level just because Tyler Morton hasn't really done it at the top level yet, even though I'm pretty sure, has played in the Champions League at one point. So, and then if you think about Curtis Jones got called up to the senior team because of an injury, and Harvey Elliott's injured. So that's another two players, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing one. You got like Amari Hutchison as well.
Yeah, so. Just rolling in the cam, and then I think if it wasn't for, I don't know whether did Angel Gomez get called up for?
Angel Gomez played for the first team,
for the first team. I thought so. So yeah, he was in it last time. But yeah, you got the talents of Archie Gray and I mean Tyler Morton-ish. Like like you say, they're probably the same level. So yeah, I can see why they slotted him at the right back. That is. And I think Bless said it on the last pod. It's the gift and the curse of him being so versatile. Is that you can kind of just do a job anywhere, and the manager's going to take that on. So he's probably not even looked at him or brought him along as a centre mid. He's probably saw that they're stacked at centre mid. Let's throw him out at right back or left back, whatever we need for that first game. But yeah, hopefully he has a future for England's starting lineup. First team in the future. we'll wait and see. Joe is not too sure on that
one. That's a brave shout, to be fair.
Hey, I'm not saying he will.
To be fair, you said you hope. You said you hope.
Yeah. I said let's hope. But yeah, let's hope during this short break.
Yeah.
This podcast is part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team, the Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. A unique listening experience that puts fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen every day. Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day. And we are back to talk about some of our snubbed players from international duty. And Joe, Lee Carsley, arrest him immediately.
Wait,
locked up.
Whoa.
He's not taken that guy, Danny Welbeck.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
That guy,
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's retired from international duty. He probably has. Somewhere in the ether, he's mentioned, you know what, I've retired from international football. I don't care. Bring him out of retirement and start him for England once again.
Yeah, I mean, get him in there now, immediately.
Who's there for them at the moment?
Harry Kane? Plays in the Bundesliga. Doesn't even count, bro.
Welbeck, better than Harry Kane.
Absolutely. Welbeck, better than Ollie Watkins, better than Dominic Solanke.
Easy.
100%.
I mean, it's a travesty that Danny Welbeck's being left out. And you know what? This one's less of a travesty, but Lewis Dunk also didn't get a call up.
Yeah, call up to the retirement home, mate. That's what's going on. No, I'm not going to lie.
Was allowed to play in the Euros, but not called up to Nations League games.
He actually wasn't allowed to play in the Euros. He was just there. True. He literally was just there chilling. It was a holiday, mate. He's probably doing double pints, Oktoberfest style.
Drinking steins with all the other. Was he even on the bench in the final?
No, you have to be on the bench because I swear the bench is literally the whole squad, the rest of the squad. I swear that's how it works.
With one of them, he might have been with the fans because I didn't see him. He might as well have been with the fans because he was never getting on that pitch. Let's face it.
Oh, dear. He's got like red spray paint in his hair, and he's got a England flag waving it in the fan.
He's next to one of the fat lads with their top off, swinging his jersey around his head.
Oh my god! Honestly.
So yeah, it's a real travesty.
We love you. We love you.
Yeah, we do enjoy Lewis Dunk, club legend, but maybe not an England legend anymore. The other player.
It's never an England legend. He just so happens to be English. That's it. Me. I'm just as much an England legend as Lewis Dunk is.
I actually disagree. I put him on the same level as same pedestal as like Rio Ferdinand and John Terry. If you've heard of them, this goes Ferdinand, Terry, Dunk, then John Stones and the rest. Whoever might be playing now.
Not even like Sol Campbell's got a shout there.
First things that came in my head.
Oh dear.
And then, yeah, the other player, we're actually going to be serious now. Snubbed. And that is a young lad who got snubbed from the first team of Germany and who I believe he was called up for in the past. It's our new signing. I'm going to butcher this name. Gruder.
I'm pretty sure it's just Brian. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, is it?
I think so, yeah.
Brian Gruder.
Yeah.
He didn't get a call up for the under-21s. So my question, Joe, is do you see Brian Gruder, sounds very English, having a big...
It's just like Brian or something like that.
Right, yeah, that looks more like Brian, to be fair. Brajan. Yeah, Brian. Do you see him having a big future? You've seen some of his highlights. You've seen a couple of cameos from him coming off the bench. And do you see him having a big future? Still only 20 years old.
Yeah, no, he's actually like labelled as like one of the golden like boys of German football currently. The last golden boy of German football was Kai Havertz. Well, I mean, that was before like Musiala and Wirtz.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got a very ranging sample size there. Because I think Kai Havertz is pony, but he just scores loads of goals out of nowhere again. Again, someone feeding him something that he shouldn't be having, right? But Wirtz and Musiala are unbelievable. So, yeah, he's to be fair, I think he actually went for the under-21s, but I think he only got called up because someone got injured. I don't know if that's correct. I think I messaged you this the other day.
Oh, right.
I think he got called up because someone got injured, but yeah, he's played for the 21s for ages, but obviously like it's not really. I'd say this one's like technically valid because he's been injured, but it was like quite a long-term injury. So like because he was injured like all through like pre-season at the club he was at, and then I literally forgot where we signed him from. What's wrong with me?
Mainz or Frankfurt.
Frankfurt,
one of the two.
But
Mainz.
Yeah. So obviously, for that, it's good for him to get called up. I don't even know if he played, but he'll get called up in the future anyway.
Yeah.
So like, I'm pretty certain about that. So it's a surprise that he got called up, but like, I mean, you do at the end of the day, you still do just have to like fill in the numbers. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think the thing is, so I saw that he was playing for the under-21s for a while. Then he got called up in June for the first team, like just a friendly against Ukraine. And I don't know whether he went to the Euros or not, but it seems like the only reason I can think of him not being called up initially for the under-21s is the fact that he was injured for a long time, maybe didn't get a chance to prove himself. But also, maybe he's already taken that step where he's already too good for the under-21s. So like no challenge for him anymore. So and they're trying to like integrate him into the first team. But the first team being Germany, which is a bit of a powerhouse and has a pretty decent squad that are probably have players that are better than him. That injury has stopped him from playing in the Germany, getting into the Germany squad, if I can get my words out. So yeah, I think that is a valid one to not get called up.
I think. Do you know what? I think he actually has a really good pathway to the because
we looked at the squad,
they're in like a transitional.
Yeah,
because I think Mamo Neuer, Gundogan, and Matt Hummels maybe all retired. So I know that they obviously none of them play in his position, but like you are going to be getting like a new batch through. If you think about like Gnabry, you're never really sure if he's going to play.
Yeah.
And then like Leroy Sané, you don't really know what's going on with him.
They're aging, aren't they? Like Sané and Gnabry are both getting on a bit. I don't know how old they are. I think they're late 20s, put it that way. I think they're at least 27, 28 minimum, I'm going to guess. So yeah, I think the way the Germany squad is going, all their players look young. So they've got Wirtz, they've got Pavlovic, who's their other wonder boy. They've got Havertz, if you can still consider him young. I think he's like 24. But yeah, it seems to be like this. Musiala, who's 20 as well, seems to be like this passing of the guard of this next generation being brought up. So I feel like the opportunity for him to make a impact in the future is there.
100%. Yeah, he's got like if you compare it to like Jack Hinchwood's pathway, it's a lot easier for Gruder to get in it than
Jack Hinchwood.
Yeah, 100%. So, 100%. And Jack Hinchwood is, by the way, never playing right back for England because they have Trent, Reece James, Kyle Walker. Surely by the time Jack Hinchwood's even getting anywhere near the first team, Kyle Walker is gone. But Kieran Trippier, I think, is gone now. So,
and I'm sure there'll be other actual right backs that are on the way that will.
Reece James also like dead. I don't know where he is at.
Yeah, Reece James has no hamstring, so you might as well rule him out. But Trent will be there.
Yeah, Trent will be there. Yeah, so
unlucky Jack, you can't play right back for England.
No, play left back though if you want, mate.
yeah. To be fair, there's no left backs.
Yeah, because Luke Shaw is dead.
Coming through. But then, is he even left back?
Well, Jack Hinchwood. No. Yeah, they played Trent there the other day. So.
Oh my god. And on that note, we have covered for the last half hour a couple of international call-ups. We've had some fun convo. We hope you all enjoyed. And share it, subscribe to our channels, and keep on listening to our podcasts. They are coming every day from now on until November, when there's going to be another international break. And on that note, thank you very much, everyone. Peace out from me, and peace out from Joe.
See you later.